Y'all made my cassava leaf video the most viral one on my page in 2024, so as promised, here's a step-by-step. By letting my meat marinate in the onions, pepper, and garlic before actually cooking it, it allows the flavor to set in before we start the cooking process. This also allows me to avoid over-seasoning the pot by making sure that my flavors are in the meat already. Remember, your tougher meats need to cook longer, so that'll be the first thing that you put in your pot to steam in its own juices. Allow your dried and smoked fish to soak in hot water for at least an hour. Steam your meat as many times as you have to and keep pouring the water out until your meat gets as soft as you want it to. Now y'all know cassava leaf and fever leaf come with a lot of sand in the pack, so if you hear this, you're not done. Everything should look like this by the time it's dried out. Go ahead and start peeling the first layer of skin off your dry fish and get it ready to go in the pot. Let's do a quick taste test and add our cassava leaf and softer meats to the pot before seasoning it again. Remember what I said about cassava leaf acting like a sponge and soaking everything up? Well, that's why we have to season in so many different layers. And you're not ready to add your oil until you see all of the water drain out of it. This batch of cassava leaf is extra special, so I'm not making it too spicy because it's for somebody else. But once you see Big Mama come out, it's time for it to get real, okay? Combine some water and your cassava leaf mixture in a larger pot. And that's right, it's time for another layer of seasoning. This step is for all my peanut butter and ground up paste warriors. Y'all put me down and y'all see me put it inside there. Y'all happy now? Go ahead and mash it up in a mixture of cassava leaf to the side before adding it back to the pot. Keep in mind, the more water there is, the more it's going to wash out your seasoning. So taste it one last time while you're still waiting for all that water in the middle to dry down. And if you got any soft fish or seafood, go ahead and add it to your pot now. See those little holes? Our cassava leaf is finally drying out now, so it's time for the oil. You know, I like to use palm oil in my cassava leaf, so I'm going to heat it up and pour at least 2 cups to begin with and stir it in. Let everything simmer for another 20 to 25 minutes and add any oil if needed. And now we got some juicy, delicious Liberian style cassava leaf. Now, I can't take this all for myself. I'm actually packing this one, and I'll explain a little bit more in part 2. So I had to let my cassava leaf cool down before I put it away in my meal prep bowls.